guys, it's me Maya back again for another video today, and I'm sorry I haven't posted for a while. It's just like I don't feel like making a video that much and wasting my time when barely 20 people watch my videos. Anyways guys, so today it's gonna be a story time, and I'm sorry if you like see this like white glare right here. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so today we're gonna be talking about how I sliced open my finger. Yeah, this happened. What's it called? I took off I took off the bandage because like this is just a gauze. I used to wait, let me show you. I'm sorry if you hear like noise in the background. Is that it's my mom's birthday party today and like she's setting up. But anyways, what I was talking about is I have this thing on my finger right here too, and I have some like this like paper thing that I wrap around it to make sure I don't hurt it. Anyways, I'm sorry if I look like a mess. I just like don't feel like doing my hair. It's Saturday, so anyways, so let's just get on to this story. So this all happened in my first period. So I went to school, blah, 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 and I went to my first period, and my first period is facts. It's like this cooking class. So we were gonna make these like apple crisps. I'm gonna see if I can insert a video. I mean, not a video, a picture of how it looks like over here, somewhere on the screen. Let me just see if I can insert that. But if I don't, I'm sorry. Just search it up. So for that recipe, we need to cut apples up. So it was my job to cut up the apples, and this happened on Wednesday. That's why I still have like my finger like that. This happened Wednesday, so it's not too long ago, because today is Saturday. So it was my turn to cut up the apples. So there was 4 apples, so I got an apple. And before we were cutting the apples, we learned how to cut apples. Well, cut stuff. So we watched this video on how to cut apples. So it showed us that we had to cut it down the middle, then cut it those halves in the middle, and then we had to like flip it over and to cut the core out. So what I did was I followed the video because I wasn't trying to get cut. So I got the apple. I cut it in half. I cut that in halves. Then I got like those little halves, and they were like really slippery. So I just like put down the apple, and we were using a chef's knife. Okay. Someone walked by. I'm sorry. Okay, I live right next to a park. Like right there. So that's why you hear noise. Anyways, so we live right next to a park. So yeah. That's so off. Okay. Let me go back to my story. So a chef's knife is like the biggest knife that you have in cutlery. The cutlery section. I'm sorry, people are just walking by and it's just distracting me. Okay, so a chef's knife. Let me see if I can insert a picture of that too, so you know how it is. So this is a chef's knife. It's just like a really big knife, and you're not supposed to use it to cut fruits, but my teacher used it. But you see, it's really sharp. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry, guys. Just like a whole like group of like kids just walked past, and like they were making so much noise, and I didn't want to like, interrupt the video. Anyway, so we had to lay down the apple halves to make sure to cut out the core. If you don't know, the core is like it's the center of the apple, and like it's the really hard part that you never eat. So I put that there, and then I was cutting the core, and so I put the apple down, and I was cutting the core with the big chef's knife. So I went like that, and then the tip of the knife, it just like sliced down my pinky right there, and my gosh, I felt like using a cuss word, but I couldn't because I was in class. So what I did is once I felt it, I knew I cut myself really bad because I felt that. So what I did was I I started screaming. I grabbed my pinky like this because I seen in TV shows if you bleed, you need to like hold pressure on it. I grabbed my pinky and I told my teammates that I was working with to make the dessert. I told them I cut my finger really bad. And they're like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, "Yes." And meanwhile, I haven't looked at my hand, but I saw blood dripping and I was like, "No, this is bad." And I've never gotten like a cut really, really bad. Like I've never gotten really cut by a knife, so I was scared. So I went to the teacher and there was like other kitchens people working. And I went to her and I was like, "I cut my finger really bad." And then she was like, "Okay, go rinse it out." So I want to go rinse it out, and that's when I finally see my cut. And that thing was sliced in half. I was so scared, and so I run it under the water and blood just gushing out. And it stung so bad, so I took it out. And so then now there's blood with water all over the floor. And then the teacher gave me like 5 paper towels. I wrapped it around, and I want to go sit down. But my teacher really didn't know it was a big cut. So she gave me 5 paper towels and told me to go sit down. And then I started crying at that moment because it hurt so bad. And my teacher came over to me and she told me to show her the cut. And I showed it to her, and her face was just like, and then she was like, "Just go to the nurse." So I went to the nurse, right? With my friend, her name's Diana. We have the same class, so she walked me to the nurse because, and I was crying on my way there. I look at the paper towels, and there were 5 paper towels. The blood went all the way through them, and I was so scared. That's my brother screaming. And my sister's back. Okay, so what I was saying, I went to the nurse, I took off the thing, and I looked at the cut again, and it was so bad. She put soap on it, which made it even worse, and I started crying even more. And then she put like some wrapping paper, she wrapped it up, and then she told me to go get my stuff from my locker because I'm going home. And my mom needs to take me to the emergency room. She called my mom came for me, and we went to the emergency room. And what's it called? We waited in the, I thought emergency room is like you go straight to your room. But no, I waited 30 minutes in the waiting room just holding my finger, bleeding out, and they won't do anything. Sorry, my sister just came in. Anyways, I was saying, there was no one in the waiting room, and I just waited there for 30 minutes. There was like only 2 people, but they didn't really look like they were sick. Like, I was bleeding out. So I went into the room. They checked my vitals and everything, and the doctor came in and she unwrapped the gauze, and then my pinky was still bleeding. And I cut myself it was like an hour ago, so I was still bleeding. You might think, "Oh, then why didn't you like die or something? You bled out." Well, it's just because it's my pinky, and like it didn't really bleed that. It doesn't bleed as much. So she unwrapped it. I looked at it, and I didn't want to look at her because she was checking it out. And then like she opened the skin a little bit, and then it hurt me so bad. She told me I needed 4 stitches because it was really deep. But they needed to check an x-ray just to make sure I didn't get my bone, which I knew I didn't because I would have felt it. So they took an x-ray. I didn't get my bone or anything. They came in and they gave me 2 shots right here. I don't know if you can see them. There's one right there and one right there. Yeah. They gave me 2 numbing shots so I wouldn't feel them stitching. And those shots, they hurt so bad. Anyways, after they gave me the numbing shots, they took salt water and like they rinsed it out. But it didn't stung me because my finger was numb at that time. So they put stitches in me afterwards, and that's pretty much it. They wrapped it up, and I didn't feel anything until later on where I was crying. Those stitches hurt so bad. But now I have to wait 10 days and I need to go back and they're gonna take out the stitches, which is just great. I'm so happy. So if you're really queasy about blood, I would tell you to just skip away because I'm about to show you my stitch. So just saying, just warning you, don't tell me I didn't warn you. If you don't like watching, like, if I'm not gonna show you how they stitch that, I didn't videotape that. I'm just gonna show you how it looks like. So yeah, just fast forward. Okay, so it took me a while to take off, but this is how it looks like. And I'm so sorry if you like are queasy and like fast forward to this part. But anyways, as you can see, I cut myself from here to all the way right here, and you can see my stitches. And over here are my 2 shots that I got for numbing it. But anyways, this is how it looks like. And my nail is still here. As you can see, it's like all like that. Yeah. It hurts still. So that's basically it for my story time on how I cut my finger and sliced it in half. Anyways, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe over there. Please subscribe. And make sure to comment down below what you think. Bye. Don't let your crown slip off your head. Oh my god, it's kind of hard to do it with this hand now. Bye.